Hey, I really want to talk to you about your ego and how it gets in the way of you communicating really awesome. Oftentimes our ego will have a response that's either you probably heard of that fight or flight mentality that's kind of innate in our bodies, which is if something goes a little off course, you have a disruption or a little crisis, typically two different kind of personalities. You kind of either want to ignore it, run from it, pretend like it doesn't exist, or you want to go attack it and beat it up. I'm kind of the one that I want to go on the offensive. I know a lot of people that want to go on the defensive. Both are really horrible habits, but psychologically, that's where your emotion state goes to. So really the takeaway today is, and I'm going to give you some examples, is try to think about the non-emotional argument even when you're being emotional. I might have a trick or two for you to do that also. So let's get into it. The first win I have actually starts off as a bit of a fail, but it's the recovery that's so vital. It's always the recovery that's so important, especially in our particular culture. Americans, by and large, United States citizens in America and Canadians, are very forgiving people typically. If you ask for forgiveness, we'll kind of give it to you maybe too many times, but we will give you forgiveness if you ask. So Campaign and Election sends out an email, and you've probably seen this before, where it automatically fills in your name. Now, if you don't know that that's automatic, it's automatic. It's a little computer program, and it shows Ryan, and then a really message that makes me feel personal, and because I see my name, I'm more likely to read it. Well, they sent an email out, and it said insert first name here or first name, comma, which means the computer program didn't shove all the names into it. It's kind of harmless, but they got kind of beaten up a little bit about it because it didn't make a bunch of people feel special. And maybe they didn't know that it was a computer program stuffing your name in there. It kind of reminds me of one story. Is I was calling up people to ask them to vote for a particular issue, and they said they can. I got a phone call from this person. It was so important. It was so special. They called me personally, and I was like, well, ma'am, that was a robocall. That was an automatic call that he did to 100,000 people. He didn't personally call. She would have no part of it. She personally got the phone call. So maybe people thought they were getting personal emails. You're not. But either way, it was a technical error. It messed up. I bet you send emails out there too that had typos in them. And Campaign Election win was, they said, hey, we're sorry. We got a little of the computer program messed up, but they just kind of owned it. They didn't run from it. They didn't ignore it. They just said, hey, sorry. And we'll do better in the future. And I think that was awesome. They didn't come up with excuses. They didn't make a bunch of rationalities. They didn't blame the computer programmer. They didn't say they're going to fire the person that did it. They said, oh, it was a mistake. We'll endeavor to do better in the future. A+ Campaign and Elections. If you make a mistake, just own it and move on. So the second communication win of this week kind of started off as a fail again, and they converted it into a win. And that's really how I want you to approach your life. When you mess up, I think you can use these examples to just be like, man, I messed up. I'm sorry. Let's keep developing a better relationship. So Cyberpunk 2077 came out. Cyberpunk's a game, and it's on PC and consoles, and I've never played it. I used to kind of dig games. I wish I had more time to do them right now. But I bet this is cool. A lot of people were demanding it come out, send it, give it to us, give it to us, give it to us. Now. We want this game. It's supposed to be incredible. And it went out, and it worked really well on PCs, but not so much on the Xbox and PlayStations and all the consoles. And it's funny, my first console was an Atari, if anyone remembers that. But so you have these consoles out there, and it didn't work on them. And the CEO just super pro move, got on there a 5-minute impassioned video saying, we messed up. And here's what we're going to do about it. So not only did he say we messed up, but here's what we're going to do about it. We're going to give you refunds. We're going to send out hot fixes, which are patch fixes they can send online and everything like this. And they gave them a few other perks to keep them as loyal followers. And by and large, people are forgiving of that kind of stuff. And I think that they're actually showed that they can recover from a tough situation, a disruption or crisis, and do a great job, because it's not necessarily, I'm going to use a golf analogy again, just because you hit the ball in the sand trap doesn't mean the hole's over. Hit it out, get it in the cup, and win. It's all about the recovery. And the only thing that really stops us from doing that all too often is our egos. Because we don't want to appear weak. We don't want to necessarily apologize. Sometimes the lawyers I'm a lawyer, so I get to make fun of lawyers, I guess. Isn't that the rule? Is the lawyers will say, you can't apologize because you can have liability. You can still apologize and not have legal liability. Now, there's a little bit of an art to it, but you can take responsibility. And all too oftentimes, when a company takes responsibility, it's shown that there are less lawsuits, even if a bad situation occurs, because the people just want to know that you care and you're going to take care of them. And I think if you use this in your personal life, try just owning it. Just try owning and being responsible without a lot of excuses. We actually talked about this last week, I think. And I think you'll end up figuring out that your communications are met much more openly. People are a lot more open to listening to you. And I think you'll end up getting better results in the relationships you have. So, hey, I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye.